Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs Postgame Show podcast presented by PointsBet. Use the promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Cubs beat the Cardinals in the first of the series 7-5 at Wrigley Field. I'm Luke Stuckmeyer, the man with the stogie, Jared Willis on Twitter at JWYLLYS, and Cody Del Mendo, Cody _CHGO.
Hell yeah.
He's feeling good.
Feeling great.
Cubs are riding high, their 3rd straight win, and more importantly, undefeated in the month of June, Cody.
Undefeated, never lost. 2-0 in our last 2, 3-0 in our last 3. And the AARP retirement tour went 1 for 7 tonight. Just want to throw that out.
Shane says all the Stuckies are here. We're still working on that stream name.
Stuckies are here, though. Yeah. I like it.
First of all, we talked about all the big points going into it, and obviously number 1 was Keegan Thompson. Cubs fans excited to see what he can do. He's gone from being this valuable piece of the bullpen to now a spot starter who's done a pretty nice job. This was another nice outing and the furthest he's ever gone in his career, which was good to see.
Yeah, like I said in the pregame show, I was looking for whether or not he could get into 90 pitches or more, and he was close at 89 pitches, but it was pretty clear that the 6th inning was the spot to take him out. The velocity was still there, but you could see he was starting to lose some of that command, so it was the right spot to do it. But as far as, for a guy who's basically brand new to the rotation, this is about as good as you can ask for. It was a very, very successful start for Thompson. You gotta feel good about that.
And his ERA still under 2 for the season.
1.99 ERA.
1.99?
Yep, barely. Just
barely.
Under 2. But it's under 2, baby.
It's under 2. I'm not an analytics guy, Cody, like you are, but I believe that is still under 2.
Sources say, yes.
Yeah,
math
really,
checks out. Yeah.
He gave up 3 earned runs, but it could have very easily been 2. They turn the double play. He gets out of it. They take him out, 1 or 2 batters earlier, or if he just pitched 1 less inning, we weren't sure if he was going to come out for the 6th. So I won't say he shoved, but he pushed very hard. Is that a fair?
An assertive push.
Yes.
Yeah. It was assertive, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the first couple innings was really good as far as just pitching to contact and getting a lot of soft contact. Well, I only had 3 strikeouts tonight, so I missed the over on the strikeouts bet. But whatever. Cubs win. I don't care. But the strikeouts he did get were pretty impressive, I will say. And, I was impressed going into midway through the 3rd time through the lineup, because Goldschmidt and Arenado got to him that 2nd time through. And then the 3rd time, he got Goldschmidt with a guy on 2nd, I believe it was Lars Nootbaar, a creative player that I don't think is good at baseball, but will be good at baseball in October because that's the Cardinal way. They got Goldschmidt to ground out on a curveball on the 3rd pitch of a sequence, and I was impressed he was able to get out of that, because Goldschmidt has been the hottest hitter in baseball. As an OPS over 1,000, 11 homers, clearly he has a great history at Wrigley Field offensively. I was surprised that he didn't do anything there. But again, Thompson's been that good this year, and it's really encouraging stuff. Even though you didn't strike him out or anything, just 3 pitches, got him to ground out, get out of the inning, and then you start with Arenado the next inning. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Sometimes that's what you've got to do as a starting pitcher. You've got to get the out.
Yeah.
In the way that it comes to you. You're not going to strike everybody out. That's not always the way it's going to work. And Goldschmidt, I think we saw tonight, it's a 24-game hitting streak. So you really are talking about probably the hottest hitter in baseball right now. To get him out in a key spot like that, that's huge. So, while we look at the overall stat line for Thompson tonight, you do want to look at moments like that where he works himself out of some of those tough spots, because as potentially in the next start or at some point down the line, when you're looking for what's going to show you that he can go deeper into a game, it's his ability to get through at-bats like those.
Well, and Scott Cederberg makes a good point here on the chat that who saw this coming? The ERA under 2. going into this seaon, if, a month before the season, we're waiting for the lockout to end and you're going through, what's this guy going to be? What's this guy going to be? And I don't know too many people that had Keegan Thompson looking like this into the month of June. I'm not saying they thought he was garbage or wasn't going to be a part of the team, but he's starting to show you that he almost certainly is a piece of the future. And not just that, a really good piece of the future. And we've had people on the chat just in the last 2 days saying, well, he should be moving up in the rotation, whereas 3 weeks ago it was, and I was on that train, leave him where he's at, don't mess with him, let him build that confidence. But now you start to see that he could be valuable to them as a starter too. He's the most valuable pitcher they have. I don't know how you could argue it any other way. You could say Stroman, you could say Hendricks, but this guy's valuable wherever they put him, and he's young, and he's cheap. All of those things. And frankly, for me, slightly unexpected. So he's all of the things the Cubs are looking for right now.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, coming into the season, I was more optimistic about Justin Steele than Keegan Thompson, and I'm not saying that I'm out on Justin Steele, but Keegan Thompson has gone far and above what I expected from him. I thought that they would start him out of the bullpen, but did not think they were going to give him a chance to come back and be a starter. But he's been that good, so all the credit to him. Shout out to Phyllis. She likes our tweets all the time. Hope she watches the show.
We love you, Phyllis.
Yes, but yeah, no, it's. He's just been, we talk about exploring. We should just make a shirt that says exploring on it. We talk about, finding what's guys for the next team, and he looks like someone who's going to be here.
Well, and he, on one hand, yes, he's in the rotation because of some injuries, but he's also there because he's earned the spot. He's performed in a way that put him there as well. So, in the environment that the Cubs are in right now, if he continues to perform like this as guys get healthy, you become somebody who they make decisions about, like, we're gonna make sure that we can keep you here in the rotation because you're having success, because it's working. And you're right, like you think about the future of this rotation. Keegan Thompson is one of those guys, and so why not continue to create these opportunities for him?
So I have a good question, and it's raised here on the chat. Someone says, is he an all-star? I won't go as far as my buddy Cap as saying he's the best pitcher in Chicago this season, which I suppose you could make an argument for it, but I just won't. He's been in different roles. So it's tough to judge just his starts against some other guys that have been doing it all season. Could you make an argument for him as an all-star? Well, his record's like 5-0, right?
Yeah.
6-0. I would say it's 6-0 now.
6-0, close to a quality start tonight. He's been good in both roles. That's not, a guy that's bouncing back and forth is not typically the type of pitcher they pick for an all-star game. Yeah. But frankly, if you're trying to win the all-star game, that's not a bad guy to have in there.
Yeah. I think one of the questions might be, how many all-stars do we think the Cubs are going to have?
Right.
And if it is just one, because sometimes if you're
it's Willson.
Yeah, it's got to be Willson. But if you get more than one, then I think at this point in the season, at least it's a fair question. It's not out of left field to wonder maybe he is an all-star, because if they do get multiple all-star spots, you've got Willson.
I think it will matter too, depending on So how does it work again? It's fan voting, right, for the starters, but then the rest of the guys are from managers.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he's not going to be a starter,
no,
but I do think it might matter depending on where the Cubs are come the end of June. Like if they are around 500 and have a better record than certain teams that had more expectations, why not? Again, a lot would have to happen. We're 7 games under 500, and things. We're riding the high of three straight wins. So just let me be a little delusional, okay? Don't yell at me about it. I know I'm being delusional, but again, if they were to be around 500, a lot of credit would go to Keegan Thompson. So I think that if something like that were to happen, then yeah, maybe the Cubs could get 2 All-Stars. It's not saying the Cubs are going to get 5 All-Stars, but 2 with Willson being one of them and then Thompson being the best pitcher on the Cubs staff this year, far and away the best pitcher on the Cubs staff. And if that team is somewhere near 500, who knows?
It's amazing that we can even have the conversation without giggling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you'd have said
crying.
that in spring training, everybody just would have laughed and been like, oh, right, Keegan Thompson, all-star.
Sure. Yeah.
But no, it's not unthinkable. Yeah, I think it's still unlikely at this point, but it's not impossible.
It's not a crazy question to ask, at least. Yeah.
And the next storyline coming out of this, there was a lot of guys that contributed offensively, but we're hoping Ryan Herrera will be able to join us before the end of this podcast. I'm sitting here and all I can think about is, when are we getting an update on Willson?
Yeah.
What's up with Willson Contreras? Because he was hit right where a lot of guys like to put that protector, the little shin guard thing. It looked like it caught him maybe high ankle. And there's the bone gets a lot smaller there. And I just, knock on wood, everything's all right. He didn't look too bad coming out of the game, but he did come out of the game, hit by a pitch, and you go, well, worst case scenario, if something's wrong there and the x-ray doesn't go well, now where are you at with Willson Contreras?
Well, I am seeing we've got somebody in the comments who x-rays were negative.
Okay, that's
so I
good
know
news.
Sometimes from being in the press box, the team will give you an update during the game if they find out right away. So that's a good sign. And I'd love to hear from Ryan if he's able to join us a little bit later and just find out exactly what they had to say. But I think back to with Willson, that game not too long ago when he ran to second base and then felt something a little off in his hamstring and said, and pulled himself sort of as a precaution from the game. And David Ross was, gave him high praise for doing that, just saying, hey, that was a veteran move. Because as much as you might want to push yourself, if something doesn't feel right, come out of the game so that we can make sure everything's okay. So it could be that kind of a situation tonight.
Ryan just tweeted 7 minutes ago, x-rays were negative.
There we go.
Okay.
Ryan, of course.
That's good news,
He's
right?
on it.
I would not be surprised if he gives him the day off tomorrow, though.
Right.
But he's also your hottest hitter.
That's true.
I mean, he's been on fire
Or if he
lately.
does play tomorrow, probably DH again.
May DH again. Normally you would, after like Higgins catches a night game and then you don't want to have him catch the day game the next day.
Right.
But in this situation, you ask Higgins to do it so that Contreras can DH or just sit out altogether. And with the doubleheader coming up Saturday, there's, he's probably gonna have to catch one of those games. So yeah, maybe you try and give him the full day off tomorrow.
I just know when I saw it, the first thing I thought of was, well, A, he's playing their best right now, and B, how do you trade a guy if you're going to trade him with a broken bone and he's not playing? That's going to be a problem, Bob. I stole one from
Shout
Cody
out to Corey in the comments. He says, am I too late to hear Cody call Keegan the mayor of Chicago? No. Keegan Thompson is my mayor of Chicago. He should be Chicago mayor. Step aside, Lori.
No, Corey. He's now calling him the captain of the All-Star team. He's gone from the mayor of Chicago to the captain of the All-Star team.
NL All-Star captain, Keegan Thompson.
Yeah.
No, he
just
was
let me
really
be
good.
delusional for a few minutes, all right?
Yeah, just enjoy it. I always tell you,
nice to win
just
one.
go ahead and just nice to win one. Enjoy
it's just
it.
nice to win.
You know who was pretty good after Keegan Thompson was the bullpen again. I know Givens had the hiccup there at the end, but
loud
Rucker,
Yachty get
2/3 of an inning, no run, and Efros. I mean, you were talking about Keegan Thompson. Efros has been right there with him.
2 innings, man.
For guys that have been surprises. On the pleasant side, he's high on that list too. Both guys have been really good.
Yeah, unfortunately, Givens allowed Yachty to get a hit, so boosted his batting average to 218 since he blocked me on Instagram. It was all the way down to 206.
He's not bitter though.
But,
Who's keeping track?
Who's keeping track though, guys? But yeah, and then he gives up the homer to Bader, of course. Someone who, it is what it is. It was just nice to have those insurance runs in the 8th inning, right? If this game would have been tied, not only would I be mad that the Cubs blew yet another lead, but Stuckey would be mad we'd be sitting here for extra innings again and all of that. And then the chat would be freaking out probably if they lost or just disappointed, whatever.
We would have seen the end of the Celtics-Warriors game.
We would have.
So
we would have.
Sounds like we didn't miss much at the end.
Yeah, it didn't sound like we missed much, though. So that didn't happen, though. So, I'm glad Givens figured it out. And, again, the bullpen has been good the last 2 nights. Efros hadn't pitched since Sunday, and he had been used a lot before Sunday, and he had started giving up runs a little bit. So I'm glad that Ross found a way to give him a couple days off because, especially with that doubleheader, he managed to do it and, paid dividends tonight. So.
Yeah, and it is really helpful when you're playing as many games as they are during this homestand, and still, even now having 4 more games to get through over the next 3 days, you've got to manage your bullpen accordingly sometimes. And when you can get something like what Efros did tonight, where he gives you multiple innings, that's that pays dividends down the road. Tomorrow, Saturday, that's what helps the rest of the guys in the bullpen. And, Efros getting a few days off and then looking a little sharper. I think sometimes with these newer guys or these younger guys, we forget that, the managers kind of have to figure out what's the best way to use this guy. And so sometimes when a reliever is going through a little bit of a rough patch, it could be just a matter of, well, hold on. Is he better when he comes in in a clean inning? Is he better after having had a couple of days off? All of those kinds of things. So maybe we learned something about Efros tonight.
Well, and you know what else really stuck out about this game to me was offensively 4 or 5 times, right? Pushing the ball the other way. Not trying to pull the ball constantly. They beat the shift. Even when the shift wasn't on, Madrigal took it down the line. Horner took it to right. Schwindel, who had a great game, took it to right. Who else am I missing? There were at least 4 guys, 4 different times.
Madrigal took it to right. Did you say him?
Yeah, I said Madrigal did it. Schwindel did it. Horner did it.
Wasn't Frazier. Frazier went up the middle.
It's those 3 guys.
It was mainly those 3 guys. And
somebody else went up the middle, though, and we said it wasn't.
It was Frazier.
It was Frazier, yeah.
And he got the RBI single.
And they're getting pitches up in the zone that past Cubs lineups had a lot of trouble with, that heat that's up high there. So those were good hits to see, especially like you said, taking it to the opposite field. That's quality hitting.
Pretty wild that we took forever to even mention Chris Morel's name tonight.
There were some positives in. They beat the Cardinals.
Yeah,
there were a lot of guys that had a good game in this. I think it was Niren say, "Hey, there's some positivity going on this team."
Yeah. And he's been one of the more negative people in the chat. So when he's saying something positive,
it's a good night.
There's some crazy things going on.
It actually wasn't Niren. It was Ravi come up.
It was Ravi.
Ravi's like on the roller coaster. He's always like, when he's in the chat when the Cubs lose, it's like, we stinks, and when they win, it's like, hey, we're not that bad, I guess, And I appreciate him riding the roller coaster,
I just know that Schwindel, when he turned it around a couple weeks ago, it was going to right field. He had a hit like that again the other day. Nico Horner definitely had one. Was it last night? It was almost the same pitch. It was almost up at his eyes, really high, and he kind of pulls his hands into his body and pushes it out to right field. And it's good hitting. You need those guys. Like you said, they didn't have that in the past. I don't want every player on the team to be doing that, but that is a nice mixture to have of guys that can do that. So a pitcher can't just come in and go, boom, top of the zone, boom, top of the zone.
Yeah.
And that mixture, if they can get more guys with the power, eventually, that will be a successful offense.
Yeah, because when you have guys hitting like that and getting themselves on base in front of somebody with some power who can, drive them in, that's your recipe for an offense that can score a lot of runs. And it's kind of like what it felt like the Cubs were missing in the last few years when they had a lot of power, but not necessarily a lot of guys who could get those types of hits. And so now it's flipped, and I think it's easier to go out and get power sometimes than it is the opposite. So if you're thinking about building toward the Cubs' future, what you're seeing on the field right now, there's some pieces there that are definitely good.
But also keep in mind, if they are going to trade Willson Contreras, that's one of the few guys on the team with some pop where the other teams will be like, can't make a mistake here, he'll take us out. And I know, obviously, Wisdom is one of those guys, but Oh, somebody giving a Valpo shout out there.
Yeah,
Huh?
DG.
How about that?
Shout out to Valpo, I
Nice.
guess. We need
Nice.
any Eastern Illinois University alums in the chat? That's where I went. Let us know.
All Stucky, smash that like button, please.
I think
went
it's
into-
a thing
Yeah,
now.
it's
It's
almost a
yeah.
thing.
I went into the chat and was like, guys, we got 5 likes on the video, but 55 watching. Now we got 62 watching, 17 likes. So we're moving up. Appreciate
help
everyone
us
liking
out.
it so we can find other Cubs fans. I was looking at the box score. Everyone that started at least tonight had a hit except for Patrick Wisdom. But Patrick Wisdom did have a walk tonight and an RBI because of his walk, drove in a run. So everyone was productive. So you love to see that against this. Honestly, this Cardinals team has been playing very well. They're very good. I hate them, and I hope they lose every game, but I'm not going to sit here like a moron and say that they're not good. They are a good baseball team, and to get a win in the first of 5, like, that takes some pressure off going in tomorrow. You got Stroman tomorrow. You're feeling good. You got the, sun's out vibes, all that stuff. If you know, you know. Like, we feel much better going into Friday 1:20 tomorrow after tonight's win. And this offense just, there's nothing special about it, but they found a way tonight. And against a good team like that, you give credit where credit is due. We're going to sit here and complain about the 20-5 loss to the Reds and how that's like the low point of the year. Well, whenever they beat a good team like the Cardinals, we got to celebrate the good times when we can, man.
Yes, for sure. We did get an EIU shout out.
Hell yeah,
there,
Jerry
so
Potts.
Just want to make sure there you go.
Any Texas Longhorns fans in the comments, let us know, please. I'll fly you out and come see the studio. I need another friend here.
Come see the studio.
Fly you out. That's
I got a question for you. How long would Morel have to keep this up for you to buy in 100%?
I think if we can get to, not even necessarily at this pace, but if we're at the All-Star break, that's when I think I'm buying in, because with it, like with any hitter, you give it a few weeks, you give it a month, a little bit longer, and kind of see where they're at. Because what I want to see happen is, the league is kind of building their scouting report on him. They're right, exactly. They're building the book on the guy, and so as he starts to face other teams or starts to face teams again, and you see how maybe they change their approach to him, and so and the at bats get tougher. That's when I want to see. Okay, how do you adjust to this? How do you respond? How do you handle that? Because I will give Morel a lot of credit. He puts together quality at bats, so I think that he's capable of adjusting and can sustain some level of success over the long term. But yeah, I'll say All-Star break. If we're still doing like this, then I'm a believer.
Yeah, I mean, currently has an 842 OPS, so I'm with Jared. If he has a OPS over 800 by the All-Star break, sign me up. I'll probably already buy the jersey. I'll probably have it within the next 2 weeks just because I am who I am. I'm not ashamed of it. But I think the reason that I've already basically have become a believer is what Jared said, the quality at bats, man. Like, first at bat tonight, double just sets the tone of the game, leads to Contreras homer. Next at bat, line out, great catch, whatever. Can't get a hit every time. Gets a walk in the 3rd inning, and that was a great at bat too, I thought. Mm-hmm. And then I can't remember the last at bat. They had the runners on 1st and 3rd, and even though Higgins was out at home, he still put the ball in play. That's just great defense by Tommy Edman at shortstop. You give credit where credit is due. Those are the little things that we saw over the last 3 years, I feel like, where runner on 3rd base can't get him in with less than 2 outs. We've seen it plenty of times this year. And even though it didn't work out for the Cubs there, you like the fact that he just found a way to put the ball in play.
Because that's what you want to see any hitter do. He's doing the right thing. And you're right, even though it didn't work out because of Higgins, just a little bit of bad luck with some good defense there.
It was one of the few times he didn't hit the ball hard.
Right.
You know what I mean? And again, like it's little things like that can keep you believing, because even though Higgins didn't score. You still got what you wanted out of Morel to do in that at bat, and that's just put the ball in play. You can't control how where the ball goes, right? So, well, sometimes you can, but in a way, like kind of how Schwindel and Horner did in that inning with that Frazier drove one run in. But again, like to me, it really is the quality of bats, whether he makes an out or not.
Despite all of the excitement that he constantly shows on the baseball field, it's the poise that he shows in those at-bats. It's the comfort level, despite the fact that he has to take a deep breath before a lot of these big swings. You saw it again tonight, just like last night. He would step back, take a deep breath, but it still doesn't seem to be the moment too big for him. And it's, for a guy that barely played it, above the Double-A level for just a couple of games, none of it seems too big for him.
And even though he is taking the deep breaths, I think knowing himself well enough to know that that's something he needs to do between pitches, I like seeing that because it's a sign that he's got that self-awareness. Like this, he may not be that way forever as a hitter, but at least for right now, he's recognizing I'm feeling the moment, or I'm feeling the pressure, and this is what I need to do. Maybe I need to turn around and have Willson remind me to do it, but I tell
you what, if he keeps hitting this way, he will do that the rest of his career. That'll become part of his ritual if it isn't already.
He's a baseball player, and that's how they tend to work.
We haven't even mentioned Ian Happ, who hit a homer.
Yeah,
Ian Happ homer,
which ended up pretty big. I really do like him and Frazier back to back, even though you can't tell who's who because they look so similar. But him, like the last two games that happened, Frazier have been back to back in the lineup. They've both produced really well. Frazier 2 walks and 2 hits tonight. We're getting a look at him, and he's OPS up to 750 in the small sample size he got, which is it's nice to see. It's better than seeing that. I think it was well under 600, before the last game. So you'll love to see him making, getting in there offensively and making some noise. And Ian Happ from the right side too.
Right.
It's from the right side. I think Ryan tweeted batting 366 now from the right side this year. I mean, that was something that I talked to people who are like, he needs to pull what's his name, Cedric Mullins on the Orioles. He used to be a switch hitter, and then he just became strictly lefty or righty. I can't remember.
And what's interesting is
and Happ is doing well and being a switch hitter now.
Happ was naturally a right-handed hitter,
but struggled.
So he became a switch hitter when he was really young, and then funnily enough, he's better from the left-hand side, even though that's not his natural side. But has made some adjustments so that he can hit the ball better on the right-hand side. I hate plugging myself, but I did write an article about Ian Happ switch hitting a couple of weeks ago. If you want to go check it out.
AllCHGO.com.
AllCHGO.com.
Subscribe so that you can read it.
Subscribe, yes. We have nothing but premium written content.
Happ is such a gifted natural athlete, which a lot of these guys are. You hear Kyle Hendricks is like a scratch golfer too. I wonder if Happ can swing a golf club from both sides. People talk about the two most difficult sports, hitting a baseball, hitting a golf ball consistently. If he can hit a baseball like that, I wonder if he's able to do that with a golf club, because that would sound almost – I would think that's even more difficult, even though the ball's on a tee or sitting still. Anybody that's played golf knows that just the tiniest little movement changes everything.
I love Corey's comment here.
I'm going to –
Sorry, continue, and then we can go to it.
I will ask him that, and I'll report back.
I like that.
I'll find out.
So Corey said that that horn that Joey just went off still gives me bad flashbacks to the April Fool's Day prank, which
that was magical.
Magical. When we look back at this season, we'll definitely remember that day.
That was
Stucky and I got your ass.
Yeah,
all of you.
I have PTSD.
Get off my lawn, you punks. That's what that was.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of these prospects. What a terrible haul.
Yeah.
Joey
A-plus
really helped
execution.
me sell it. He really did. Built the graphics up.
And then it turned me into a TikTok. You're all welcome.
Cubs win 7-5. Take the first game of this series against the Cardinals. They've won 3 straight over the Brewers and Cardinals. Let's just call that the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the window. You could just forget the rest of it. That's the window you want to look at.
22 and 29.
How did your bets do?
As far as this game it went well. I had Cubs money line, minus 110. It was pretty even. It was a lot more comfortable than I thought it would be going in. But when you score early and then Keegan Thompson shoves, well, you turn out to win bets. I made those bets on PointsBet, guys. Did you know that?
I did not know that. That makes sense, though.
Yeah. PointsBet is where everyone should be making their bets. It's the best way to support CHGO. And the best way to support CHGO is to download the PointsBet app. Use code CHGO when you sign up. If you make a $50 or more first-time deposit, you receive a free CHGO membership, which unlocks all of our web content. You even get a free shirt of your choice from the CHGO locker, the dope merch, as we call it. Mm-hmm. If you have any questions, email pointsbet@allchgo.com, and we'll help you. Remember that PointsBet is your home for live in-game betting. They even have a new exclusive feature, live NBA same-game parlay for the first time ever. Build the perfect live same-game parlay only with PointsBet. Combine your favorite bets anytime during the game. You can even boost your live same-game parlays. And now online sign-up is available in Illinois. If you didn't know that, I don't know if you've been under a rock or wherever, but it has been available for like 2 months, 3 months. I don't know. I've lost track. It's been in Illinois for a while. You can literally get on your phone right now and download the PointsBet app and register your account from start to finish, all from your phone. It's that easy. If Luke can do it, everyone can do it. I say it every show. Everyone likes to talk about it in the comments. I appreciate that, so we can remind everyone that if Luke can do it, so can you.
I do want to point out on Twitter, before I get to our sponsor, that our friend Brendan Miller says we might want Keegan to generate more whiffs as his development continues. The whiff rate currently sits around league average. Thinking here is at some point get more comfortable with the secondary offerings. That'll lead to more whiffs. Listen, whatever. The pitch doctor is the pitch doctor. All I know is I like what I see. I like to see the progress, and that clearly would be maybe another step that would make him more likely to be a starter down the line. Boy, there's not much to complain about.
I didn't finish the ad read, but
I thought you were done.
No, I just looked at you to see if you were going to say anything. Sorry for the interruption, but shout out to Brendan. Thank you for the tweets.
Brendan's right.
I thought it was done. All right, go ahead.
Signing up with the fastest sportsbook is now easier than ever, so you can start living your bet life in seconds. Like me, I live it every day. Use code CHGO to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. So what are you waiting for? Once the game starts, don't just bet. Live your bet life with PointsBet. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. Now it's done, Luke.
That's the part I was missing.
So we have Shane here, says Contreras said he was not going to play tomorrow anyways, but is expected to be back on Saturday. So that's promising.
Makes sense. Okay. Doubleheader. He's got to catch one of those.
Yeah.
Probably.
Our next partner has a product I use literally every day. Started taking AG1 because I didn't have time. Wanted better gut health, more energy, and an optimized immune system. Now I've been on it for 2 weeks, and I love it. It doesn't taste super healthy. It's kind of mild, tropical taste. I look forward to taking it in the morning. So what is it? Well, a scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. A special blend of ingredients supporting your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, aging, all of those things. I get this noticeable boost of energy, so I take it first thing in the morning, and then I don't feel bad about eating a donut when I get to work or a cookie that Joey brought back from dinner, whatever. You know, it's all good.
Really good cookies.
Yeah, they were good cookies.
Shout out Bent Fork Bakery, Highland Park. Highwood, actually. Bent Fork Bakery, Highwood, Illinois.
I wasn't done with the ad read, Joey.
Oh, God.
It's lifestyle friendly. Whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, gluten-free, or dairy-free, you're all good with AG1, and you're investing in an all-in-one nutritional insurance for less than $3 a day. And it's recommended by professional athletes. In fact, 7,000 five-star reviews. Right now, reclaim your health, arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just a scoop in a cup of water. It's that simple. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to take care of your health. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/CHGO CHGO Cubs. Again, athleticgreens.com/CHGO Cubs to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Did I hear the little ding?
There he is.
And Ryan Herrera is in the building.
That you did.
So, Ryan,
Oh,
I can breathe easy. I was told that you have tweeted, and we've been told Willson Contreras is okay.
Yes, Willson Contreras. He says he's fine. I mean, he ran off the field under his own power. Like it was pretty clear it wasn't. I didn't think it was anything too serious. And then Rossi gave us the news that X-rays were negative. We talked to Willson. He said, it kind of hit him above the ankle. That he feels good and he's ready to get back in the lineup. He said he was off tomorrow anyway, so he's going to get a day tomorrow. And then, I think knowing Willson, he's going to try to be in there Saturday. Maybe Ross decides to give him an extra day, but I think it's obviously nothing major.
Keegan Thompson, impressive. Anything Ross have to say about him, or did you hear from Keegan Thompson? What was the key to his game tonight? I mean, it wasn't as good as he's been a couple times, but this was still another great start for him.
Yeah, I mean, they both said that he kind of just lost kind of the command right there at the end. That last inning, Keegan said very disappointed he couldn't get those last two or with those two walks. And then Ross kind of just mentioned the command, but like we kind of would say, and they both said it, just solid start. Longest they've ever let him go in a game, almost 90 pitches. I mean, it wasn't, like you said, Luke, it wasn't the Keegan Thompson we came to know as like a 2 2/3, 3 1/3 inning shutdown reliever. But obviously you can't expect that every time. And then what I think the most encouraging sign is if he is to stick in the rotation, they got him, what was it, 88, 89 pitches today? Like they got him up there and he did well. He got 5 1/3. 3 runs, he gets out of that inning, and that's a quality start, which the Cubs don't have a whole lot of those this year. So again, it wasn't like a dominant performance, but it was a solid start and definitely like an encouraging sign for both of them.
Did Keegan say that he thought he did okay? Because I remember against the White Sox, he said he thought he sucked.
Yeah, I remember he said he felt like he had gotten lucky.
Basically.
I got lucky is what,
Yeah, basically, I think he said he felt good. He said he was able to command like he wanted to today. Again, until it kind of got to that 6th inning and the walks. I mean, I think he felt better about his stuff today. I think you could see just in the just you look at how the pitches that he threw and his pitch mix. He mixed it up a lot more than he usually does through that changeup, and I think the sinker. More times, more a higher percentage than he usually does in any of his outings. And so I think he's kind of still working out a little bit of the kinks as far as he's a starter. He wants to have more. He's planning to go more than one time through the order. He's planning to. You need more pitches to be able to do that. So he said he was trying to, especially the changeup, trying to mix that in a little bit more. But he didn't say anything about getting lucky today. I'll tell you that much.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear it.
Did the Cubs mention anything about any in the last couple of days about an approach of taking the ball the other way? Because it just seems like we've seen it so much more than we did earlier in the season, and specifically the last week or so, whether it's Schwindel or Horn or whoever it might be. It seems like they're just more willing to take the ball the opposite field. I
don't know that it hasn't really been talked about, but I think that's kind of just the makeup of some of the hitters. We know Nico, puts the ball the other way a lot because he can get to the ball on that side, and he is a good contact hitter, and he is good at kind of putting the ball where it's pitched to him. Same with Madrigal, that single down the right field line there. He's a guy that can put the bat on the ball pretty much anywhere. Just historically, he's a good contact hitter. And he's a guy that will put the ball to all fields, kind of hit it wherever it is. So I don't think it's any, or we haven't talked about any like specific conscious effort, or anything. I think it's just a lot of these guys have a makeup that allows them to be able to do that. And maybe they're just, maybe it is a conscious effort. We just haven't talked about it. But I think a lot, just again, because some of these guys just have the ability to be able to do that. And maybe you're just seeing it a little more.
It's good to see. Whatever the reason is, it's good to see because I think it's led to the offense being better at times. That like nights where they score runs, seems like somebody's always going opposite field with it for a key hit. Tonight, Madrigal was definitely one of them.
Yeah, and the Madrigal's hit turned out to be really huge after the Bader home run in the top of the ninth inning. So perhaps a sign of good things to come for him because, we're getting it from Clint Frazier now, and, his last 2 games that he's played. Good to see Madrigal get a hit that wasn't an infield single.
I was going to say when Madrigal made that play kind of going to his left, reached out, got it, made a little throw over to first, I could just picture in my head Cody saying, I was told Nick Madrigal was a terrible defender.
I was thinking it a little bit. And then I think wasn't it the same inning that
the tag at second?
The tag at second happened.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah, it was either the same inning or it wasn't very long after that.
Yeah. So I thought about it for a few seconds, but I think we could all sit here and agree that Nick Madrigal's defense has been better than what we were told. Like overall, his defense has actually been pretty good, all things considered.
But I was only told that by Sox fans in the building who were happy to get rid of him.
Yeah, I mean they told us that he couldn't run. So I mean,
yeah, he couldn't do anything.
I don't know. Honestly, they could have used his hit today against the Blue Jays. So
I'll say that the White Sox could use him right now because
we only have one less.
Tim Anderson went down. It was like,
yeah,
they're short some guys.
Should we send him back?
No.
Well, unless they send in Robert or Crochet.
Yeah.
You want to send Andrew Vaughn this way?
Andrew Vaughn for Madrigal. The deal is done.
Straight up.
We've signed it off.
Nope. The Sox guys would not trade Andrew Vaughn for Mike Trout. They would not
correct.
for nothing.
Yeah, he's untradeable.
What about Juan Soto?
He does look like he's going to be a good player.
Too.
Let's take care of who you got here, and we can address some rules because Ryan's bitter because I took Contreras, and I'm now tied with.
In a row.
I'm now tied with Cody. It is now 5-5-3.
No, and it's also not fair because I'm not in the office, so then I just get a text. Who you got? All these other 5 players are gone.
It's true. And I want to say right now that, Ryan, if you would like Contreras tomorrow, you're the first one to be able to pick him.
He is out the day
He's
off.
all yours.
He's not playing.
Oh, shucks.
Then I won't take him.
I will say that I think I got last place. I'll admit that today.
You're a man of you're being a bigger man today. Sometimes things surprise us. I just don't
have an argument. I just don't have an argument for it.
No.
Nico did get a hit.
Jared had an argument for
A few innings.
Keegan Thompson, and then the last run maybe kind of pushed it away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, more pitches than he's ever thrown.
Right. So I'm the winner. Is that what we're
No,
saying?
you're in the conversation for second place.
All right.
Contreras gets it.
Well, what
Another
about
basket homer for me?
we did have we had a commenter in the pregame show.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like we've got to at least acknowledge.
Who was it? Was it Jack?
Jack R.
Jack
Jack
R.
R.
who called it. He said Frank Schwindel, and we can't forget Schwindel 3 for 4 with the homer tonight. So
Jack R on here tonight?
I thought he was in here earlier.
He might have bailed on us.
Jack.
There he was. I saw him.
That's not the same
There,
Jack.
right there.
Oh yeah, there he is. He always
There he
has
is.
the
Bobby Knight.
Yeah, he has the IU.
Go win
picture.
tomorrow. That's the last we've heard from Jack
Jack
R.
R. If you listen to this later, we acknowledge
feel-
you were.
Yeah.
I do think Jack R may take Schwindel every game.
Yeah.
Somebody's always throwing out Schwindel, and it might be Jack R.
Yeah.
Sooner or later,
I'm pretty sure.
it's got to be right.
It comes through.
Okay. So Contreras had the 2-run homer with just 2 RBIs.
Yes, correct.
Had a walk.
And was hit by pitch, so he's 3 times.
And a hit by pitch. And then he had 1 run scored. Morel, 1 hit, which was a double, 2 runs scored, a walk. Yeah.
And
no
Contreras
RBIs.
drove him in.
Yeah, Contreras drove him in.
Yeah.
Fine.
5-5-3.
It's
Season total 5-5-3. Tied for first now.
I will not sit here and try to, weasel my way in.
Oh, come on. You don't even have an argument.
What's our record right now?
I thought it was
Cody 5.
No, because
when did
going
Luke
in
get
today I had
3?
6.
It was 6-5-4. I thought it.
I thought
no,
it
it
was
6-4-3. It
Double
was
play.
6-4-3.
Yeah.
So now it's 6-5-3. I have 5.
Yes.
You're correct. 6-5-3.
And I have one down ballot vote.
Yes.
Is the-
I
You're
did
right,
add
you're
your
right.
name, Jared, and yeah, you just have nothing there.
All right.
I'm going
gotta
to
get on the board.
wake up in the morning and send a text in the group chat letting you know who I picked for that day, or else I don't
Because
think
you were
folks will
last.
like-
Yes, as last place, you
early.
get the first pick.
I
tomorrow.
do think maybe it becomes first come first serve. Like, as soon as the clock strikes midnight, if there's a game that day, first
No,
person to
that's
say
what
it.
is.
Hey, Joey, stay out of our business.
So in 55 minutes, let's.
That's
First
not,
of all, we all
Yeah,
know
midnight,
that I'm
that's not too long from now.
technologically slower than everybody else. That's
and
an unfair advantage.
Luke's struggling to stay
And
awake
that's
when we're
ageism.
watching the games over there.
That's called ageism.
First pitch was 7:05. I got a text at like 7:03 asking who I got.
I knew you were busy at the ballpark. I didn't want to distract you.
No,
Will
it
has
was
the real
definitely not
question.
7:03 because we had to have.
We
our
had
who you got
pregame.
before
That's
pregame.
right.
I had your picks on the graphic.
So it might have been a half hour before pregame that you got
Ryan.
that text.
No exaggerating.
Yeah.
You're the beacon of truth out there. We need you to be factual
Yeah.
to the core.
What is the
Well,
saying?
we can't let the facts get in the way of a good story.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Yes,
there it
taught him
is.
well. Will Collins has he says, time for real questions. Any word on Schwindel going to Murphy's tonight? Not with a day game tomorrow, I don't think. The quick turnaround.
Probably not a wise choice if he's, expects to be in the lineup tomorrow.
But maybe if he
But-
knows he's not,
Go.
and he is over at Murphy's.
Throw down a couple.
Interesting.
Little
And-
lights, that's what he always
I could
drinks.
Go check. I could always go check. I'm right here.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
walk
Yeah, do
in.
it.
Scope out the joint.
Take
Yeah.
your phone and keep, and stay on with us and walk over and check in on him.
You earned it, Ryan.
So, Ryan, we kind of talked about it in pregame, but any real speculation behind Caleb Killian being in that doubleheader? I know Ross said what he said before the game, but anything else post game asked or anything about it?
Nothing. Like you said, pregame, he's kind of just wait and see. It's obviously still TBD for that day. And I know last week they kind of got asked, and he said no for Killian, but that was before Wiley went on the IL. That was before Drew Smiley went on the IL. No new speculation is. No new nothing to set fire to anything. It's just the speculation's out there and you see it. It definitely is a situation where Caleb Killian can come in. They're not revealing their hand before the chips are all in, I guess. Poker reference. Look at that.
Yeah, I did see they pushed back his next start indefinitely. So I think at least with the possibility that he gets called up, Iowa's at least preparing for, we don't want
8
to.
days.
Yeah, we don't want to burn him.
What was it? Monday or Tuesday he was slated to start? Would have been his full
Right.
rest day to start Monday or Tuesday. So I can see that. And then just in case, they obviously don't want to burn him today when he could be pitching Saturday. Again, nothing new, nothing to stoke the fire or anything. It's just, I think that's a fun thing that everyone wants to speculate on. I guess, we'll kind of see. Maybe they'll surprise us tomorrow.
I just think if Cody wants to have the jersey for Saturday, he's going to have to order it tomorrow. So, tomorrow morning is probably the last time you could order that jersey and expect it with overnight shipping to be here for Saturday. I'm just throwing that out there.
Otherwise,
That's
you
fair-
gotta do
fair
one of
points.
those duct tape.
Yeah, you're going to have to do
That's
it.
Situations,
true. I can
yeah.
take one of my 1,000 jerseys I have in my dresser and just put some duct tape and write his name on it.
Sharpie, and there you go.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
make it done. I make things work when I have to.
Anything else, Ryan, before we let you go?
No, it was just obviously a big win. They were blasting music when we got in the clubhouse. So first Cardinals win. I saw something that it was the latest they've ever played the Cardinals for the first time in a season, outside of 2020 and however many years it's been. It did feel weird to they hadn't seen the Cardinals at all this year, but obviously a big win for them. Who we got tomorrow? It's Stroman tomorrow.
Yeah,
Stroman
Strosho on the mound.
Michaelis.
Miles Michaelis.
Yeah.
I actually don't know how to say his name.
It's
But
Michaelis.
I'll be here. It's a quick turnaround, but I'm gonna truck through it, and then we got Saturday and Sunday to go to.
All right. Well, hopefully the media buffet is good tomorrow. Maybe they'll have breakfast on Friday instead of Saturday. It's a day game, 120. You might get some scrambled eggs and
Get
pancakes
those chicken
there.
and waffles.
Final. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, usually I can manifest like the last 2 times I've said chicken and waffles. Yeah. There've been chicken and waffles. Wow. So I'm not gonna manifest it tomorrow. I think Saturday is more likely, but
Saturday
for the doubleheader
for the night game when I'll be there.
Yes,
because Ryan's going to tag me in for the second game.
You might just get a
Saturday,
box lunch for the second game.
Yeah. It'd be like bologna sandwiches or something.
Yeah, it's not as good. Hopefully there's still some brownies because that's the best thing they have.
That's true. That's true.
Quality brownies.
Those are hard to lay off of.
Final real question. It's very real. There's nothing fake about it, Ryan. Okay. But in your opinion, I would love to know who would win a race.
Here we go.
Yachty, Pujols, Tony La Russa, or retired Miggy Montero. I would love to know
La Russa 2022.
Your unbiased opinion about who would win that race.
I saw Miggy Montero down at spring training. He's quick, but I just I'm gonna go Montero. I watched Yachty and Pujols. Someone hit Pujols, I think, hit into a double play or something, and it was Pujols. Yeah, that felt like that double play took an hour to get turned, and he still didn't hit it. And I was like, man, they had so much time. Like they could have thrown it out to Ian Happ, let him like juggle the ball and throw it back in, and still would have gotten it. It took a long time for him to get down the first baseline.
This was my favorite part of talking to Ryan tonight.
Just like the Twitter poll, Ryan agrees that Miggy Montero probably wins that race. I don't even know
the wheels.
Yeah.
All we know is that Grandal's coming in last. Grandal's coming in last.
Yeah. I don't think Montero's ever lost one of the polls that he's been thrown in on the account.
He's fast, man.
Every single time.
He's quicker than he looks. I'll leave it at that.
Relatively.
All right, Ryan. Thanks. We appreciate it. Have fun out there tomorrow.
All right, gents. We'll see you later.
If you enjoy CHGO, one way to help us continue to grow is to download that PointsBet app and use the code CHGO when you sign up. Not only you get those sweet 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000, but if you make that $50 or more first-time deposit, you get a free CHGO membership. Unlocks Ryan stuff, Jared stuff, the web content. What was that article about again?
Ian Happ switch hitting.
Ian Happ switch hitting. There you go. And you also get a shirt from the CHGO locker. If you have any questions, email PointsBet at allchgo.com, and we will help you out in case you missed it. Sign up going on right now for online in Illinois. Download the PointsBet app right now. Register your account start to finish, all from your phone. I always say it, if Cody can do it, you can do it. So what are you waiting for? Once the game starts, don't just bet. Live your bet life with PointsBet. Gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Before we get to the pitching matchup we touched on there briefly, I do want to point out the Cup Tower.
Oh, God.
That was Avi Schertz tweeted it, and we want to point out that we figured out really what's going on here. So there's this Cup Tower, not a Cup snake, a tower being built in the bleachers.
Next level, yeah.
This is next level. And, of course, the security guard comes over and knocks it over, knocks all the cups down. I don't know how many levels it was, but it looks like it's 10 or 11 high.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a serious pyramid right there.
First of all, 213,000 views. But we thought, well, now, how could that be done? And then we found out that we thought Joey just went to dinner for his birthday. Turns out he went to Wrigley, pounded about 700 beers right there, made a tower with his buddies.
Yeah.
And then right back to
the office. And then this guy ruined all the fun.
And the guy goes in there and just dispassionately, I'm a security guard. This is my job.
Yes,
I must knock over your tower.
I must knock them over.
This is not personal. I'm just,
just doing my job.
I'm just doing my job here, people. And, I have thoughts about the cup snakes and whatnot.
Yeah?
But
What are they, Jared? Because I don't like them.
I have this wild idea that, when you go to a baseball game, you should watch the game. I don't know. And at what, $15 a beer?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like 12, but
yeah. Okay. So, But no,
Give Tom Ricketts some credit.
Whatever. Let people have their fun, and as long as it's not hurting anybody, then I don't see the problem. But this one, I can see why maybe it was blocking a view.
Yeah.
But perhaps he could have walked up to them and said, "Could you take this down?" Rather than just
perhaps. Yes.
But how are they going to take? They're going to do the same thing. They're going to knock it down. The way I look at it is, it's a COVID tower. It's everybody's saliva standing
all
on top
just
of each other. Like, what are we
dripping
doing?
down into-
Yeah.
yeah.
Then you got to make this poor old man go over there and knock the whole thing down.
Tower Day COVID. Yeah.
Cups are even worse. They're all holding the COVID over each other's heads, passing it around.
Yeah.
I will just say that once again, it is different here. That's all I got. I mean, when Joe from Obvious Shirts tweeted that out, we saw it on the broadcast, but not the entire thing. So when I saw it online, I was just like, what else would you expect in the bleachers? Like,
If you're a bleacher security guard, there's no way you see that and you're like, you've been waiting for this moment probably every night that you're
He
like,
dreams about that.
Like, I'm going to go punch the shit out of it and it's going to fly everywhere. I'm not just going to say, hey, can you take this down? You've been at the game every night. I'm going to go.
true.
It's going to be exaggerated. Bah, get out of here. That's right. Watch the game.
You know what he should
This
have
guy
done?
he's worked there for probably 30 years. He's pictured in his mind what he was going to do.
Before they had
I
plastic
hope-
cups, he was working there.
He said
back when they were like carved out of wood.
Yeah,
he was at that game.
wooden beer steins.
He
out
should have
there.
pulled the bottom cup out and he should have
yeah.
stared them all down, walked over, taken the bottom cup and flicked it with his finger and just watched that tower crumble
Looked him dead in the eye and
said, "Get off."
He said every
my
night,
lawn."
tonight, maybe tonight's the night some idiots try to make a pyramid in my section,
And do you think
Maybe it'll
there's
be
like a
tonight.
security guard text chain where they're all now sending this video to each other and they're like, look what
Well, he's viral now.
did.
Right. He's
Yeah.
viral. So
yeah.
they've got to be pretty excited about
He's
that.
famous.
I've got to figure.
Yeah.
And a shout out to the Wrigley security because I do like them and I think that they do a good job. We're not making fun of you.
No,
I'm happy for you.
Will says bleachers are the wild, wild west, and Robbie says, "I think it's pretty cool. Disgusting to me, but cool."
yeah, it's just
I
like
think that's-
people
yeah.
having fun, but yeah, it is kind of disgusting. I won't lie.
Yeah, that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, no, everyone's entitled to their opinion. We were talking about it earlier, right, Joey? We were, as two young guys here, and let's be real, the bleachers are all mainly full of people around me and Joey's age.
Yeah.
I know I just turned 31, but let's not act like I'm that old, okay? But I think, like, when I was there last night, there was this guy in front of me who he just kept screaming for people to, like, bring him cups so they could start the snake. And, like I have no issue with starting the snake. Like, if anything, the amount of times I have contributed to helping build the cup snake is way too many to count. It takes more than two hands. But there's just like a way to go about it. This guy was like screaming it. I'm like sitting here trying to watch the game. It's like the fifth inning. And like the Cubs are either going to get out of this inning with scoring runs or not. And I want to know. And like, so that was kind of like what me and Joey were talking about is it's the way you go about it. Don't be that screaming drunk asshole. Just just let people let the section know, hey, I'm the guy, and then they will send their cups down. They will do it. They make sure it happens.
I've got an idea. Obvious Shirts makes a shirt for that guy. I'm the cup snake guy.
The cup snake guy.
The
There you
cup
go.
snake guy. So Obvious Shirts, if you're watching.
That is a great
There you go.
idea.
I've got an
Yeah.
idea for you.
There you go.
Well, so the way we look at it is cup snakes and cup towers are not allowed. Stealing Bleacher Jeff's seat is allowed. Those are the new rules.
Don't even bark up that tree, Luke. They will come for you.
They will come for you, Luke.
Okay, so tomorrow, cup snake or not, Marcus Stroman against Miles Michaelis. Stroman now has the ERA under 4, and Michaelis has been really good. His is under 3, 2.67. What do the Cubs need to do to somehow get the first two of this series? I just say offensively, more of the same. Find a couple guys that can hit the ball out, and everybody else, get on base. The one thing I will say they've been lucky on is there have been some base running errors the last couple games. They've been fortunate to get away with wins. because there's been a couple times where you thought, well, that could have been another run, and it could come back to haunt them. They've been fortunate. They need to clean up the base running a little bit.
Yeah, tonight Frazier trying to get second base on what they made a throw home, and then they got him at second or whatever, or maybe it was a throw to third. I don't remember. Yeah, that's been something. That's been an issue all season. I don't know what it is. We were kind of joking like, oh, we don't hit a lot of home runs, so we just got to force the issue a lot.
David Ross kind of said that. He's like, I like the chances they're taking.
He was asked about that last night, about the aggressiveness on the base paths, and that is what he said. He said, you got, that means you take the good with the bad. So there are going to be some of these, you get picked off at first or you get thrown out at home, that sort of thing. But yeah, Luke, I'm kind of with you where I think maybe we dial it back just a little bit so we're not trying so hard to take some of those extra bases and giving up outs.
It's a big momentum killer.
Yes. Yeah. But I too think to get another win tomorrow, you need the offense to continue to be able to string hits together like they did tonight. Because I think we can count on Stroman as at least going to give you a quality outing. Get into the sixth inning. At most, he's given up 2 or 3 runs, most likely. So I think he's going to do his part. It's going to be a question of, is the offense going to continue what they've done?
And he's going to get the real show, too. I think he's said how much he loves coming to Wrigley Field. Well, he's going to get Friday, 120, Cardinals,
Weather's
80 degrees.
Yeah,
he's going to get the real feel if the Cubs can provide some offense for him tomorrow. He'll get the experience of Wrigley Field. The Cup Snake will be from left field all the way to right field by the end of the day if they play well.
I'm looking up Miles Michaelis's numbers. His last outing against Milwaukee gave up 6 earned with 2 homers. Outing before that, he gave up a homer as well, 3 earned, so it was a little bit better. But in almost all his starts, he has been able to go into at least the 5th inning, or at least the 6th inning his last 5 starts. So he's been able to go deep. But, again, his last couple starts, he's given up some runs. He started off the season real hot, but last couple outings he's given up at least 3. So, maybe the Cubs are getting him at the right time, but the numbers for the season are really very, very good. Stroman, according to the internet, and I know Twitter is just a small percentage, but a lot of Cardinals fans wanted Marcus Stroman, and then they were pissed off when he chose the Cubs. And we all knew the Cubs were either going to be a 500 team at best, and he chose the Cubs over the Cardinals. I don't know if the Cardinals even talked to him, but, again, they were very mad. They didn't get Marcus Stroman. They can deny it all they want, but you can just literally go search his name around the date. It's an easy find. I would love to see Marcus Stroman shove one down the Cardinals' throats tomorrow.
Jared, good to have you in again. You going to burn that heater on the way home?
I sure will.
Nice. Cubs win 7-5. Thanks for dropping in to check out the CHGO Cubs postgame show. Cubs win. They'll try it again on Friday. Friday 1:20. We'll be here for the postgame show afterwards. Hope you'll join us then. Until then, fly the W.